Hello, I'm Auntie, and this is Willo'Wisp. Tom Nook was last seen muttering something about fairies, phenomenons, and even an outer body experience. All he said was, "Hold on the fruit for me, buddy. I'll be back." Now, this has put O'Air in a bit of a tricky situation because even though Tom Nook has taken a little hiatus, that does not mean that the development of Willo'Wisp can just go to an halt. But one thing that passed up Tom Nook's broken mind was that his signature holds a lot of weight when it comes to the development of Willo'Wisp. Permits and building permits and other permits, mostly permits, needs to be signed by Tom Nook himself. Because the tone of Willo'Wisp is not only just being developed, it is being developed under the name of Nook Incorporated because we are turning this into the most amazing tourist destination ever with the best conservation area and a world-renowned museum. Well, there are some areas of the town that have already been approved and had older permits signed and stamped for development. And because O'Air is not the kind of buddy to just stand around and wait for anyone, construction must continue. Even though all of the permits are already signed and stamped, that is fine. Any construction in this area has been approved, but it is the matter of money. O'Air might be in charge of all of Tom Nook's finances, but to transfer those funds, O'Air needs Tom Nook's signature, and with Tom Nook taking a bit of an hiatus, his signature is kind of unobtainable at the moment, so O'Air needed to come up with another plan. Now, trying to look like a big entourage of a bunny with a lot of responsibility and a lot of control over Nook Incorporated, he vented all the lack of funding and access to his new crush Bonbon because he thought it made him look big and important. And nothing makes ladies think that you're a big important bunny like corporate jargon. Though Bonbon, trying to be super helpful, suggested to O'Air that he put up his fancy schmancy brand new sports car for a raffle, because raffle tickets, even though each individual is paying way less for the chance to win a cur, statistics say that you will make like 4 or 5 times more than the value of the cur. And because his cur is so brand new and so fancy, everybody on the island will be entering this raffle. And O'Air was all like, "Oh yeah, that's a great idea. Of course, I'll put my brand new fancy spancy sports car for a raffle because I definitely have a brand new fancy smancy sports car and I wasn't just trying to impress you with lies or anything, right?" Right. So because he definitely has a brand new, fancy, really expensive sports car, he had Timmy and Tommy set up this little stage for the raffle. Now, the stage is still being built, which is totally fine because O'Air needs to ship his fancy brand new sports car to the island to be raffled off anyways, and that stuff takes time. Besides, we need people to have enough time to enter their tickets and pay for their tickets for the competition. You know, you gotta give them time, get the most people. Besides, you gotta have like a really fancy stage and whatnot, right? For the cur that definitely exists. Can't have a sports cur that is as fancy as O'Air's sports cur, right? On a stage that's not that fancy. Why would O'Air ever lie on having a super fancy sports car? That's not something people do. He definitely has that sports car. It's real. He's just, you know, trying to help Nook Incorporated with his own money and own funds and stuff. It's just like a real nice thing that O'Air's doing because, you know, he doesn't even care about his sports car. Totally buy a new one right after, you know, Tom Nook reimburses him because, you know, it's still money. Rich people don't have money because they spend it all. They have money because they're frugal and they hold on to it and they're not very good at sharing. And O'Air is rich, just in case I didn't make it clear. Now, this area has been majorly used for maintenance for the Nook Incorporated little moped and bike rental services that we have here on the island, where you can rent mopeds and bikes by the hour for the low price of whatever the market price is at the moment, which is a pretty fair deal if I do say so myself. Go back. Either way, this area has been used for maintenance because here at Nook Incorporated, we're all about making sure that our customers receive the value for their money. And complimentary maintenance is part of the value. It is guaranteed that every rental through Nook Incorporated will work. Will it work well? I don't know, but it'll definitely get you from A to B, right? Right, and it's a little bit flurry because we have bylaws about green spaces for the bush and the natures. It go boop, it go pop, and boop. No, as I said before, Old Air definitely has a brand new, really expensive spurts cur. But just in case, during shipping, that spurts cur gets lost in the mail for some reason, we have this cur. Or Air's backup cur, the company cur, right? Just something that he drives around while working for Nook Incorporated. Definitely not his regular cur that he regularly drives around or anything. And he's definitely not getting Timmy and Tommy to repaint and fix up this cur to look like the Miata that he told Bon that he definitely had. But on the rare occasion that his cur gets totally lost in the mail from shipping or whatever, he's just, having a backup. Because those things totally happen. Mailmen haven't heard, okay? That's why they're on strike every year, okay? They just don't get their compensation. Oh, you want to be responsible for shipping an entire cur? I don't think you did, okay? Good. Besides, probably not gonna happen. It's totally gonna show up. And if it doesn't show up, that's just a random happenstance. Like, who would have ever thought that? That's crazy. Either way, the raffle is open and everyone in town is talking about all they could win a brand new Miata. And the money has started rolling in for our construction. And our development over here can continue. Now, the permits for this area have been signed and stamped, so construction can easily begin, but there has been no design choices. So this area is going to be very simple because OAir is not exactly great at design, and the only person that claims to be great at design is having an existential crisis about their failing restaurant. So we're gonna make this area super simple, and if anything, Tom Nook is super rich and so is OAir. I mean, he's got a Miata. If development on this area isn't exactly as they wanted it, we could just redo it, and they're putting it in my hands, and I'm not exactly the most creative person that ever existed, so you know what, this is what you're gonna get. I'm just project manager, okay? Do I look like a designer to you? Do I look like I have fashion? Don't answer that question. Rex told me that I was the best looking human on the island. That's gotta say something, right? Ego boop. Ego boop. Get a little crosswalk here so people know it's all official and stuff, cause it is. And of course, we'll get some fancy entrances. Cause it's fancy. Ego boop. Bop. Beep. Boop. And bop. And over dirt. Going down this way. And boosh. Or bop. 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 We get a nice little entrance. And go bop. Boop. Beep. And boop. And beep. And I gotta get more trees. And I think I want this tree to actually grow up. So I'm gonna time travel. I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. Oof. Oh yeah. That tree looks a lot better all growing up and stuff. So this is an hotel that is currently under construction, because what isn't? Now, of course, I do not have any design experience, nor do I know the plan, but you really can't go wrong with bushes. Just gonna extend this out a bit and put a rental sign up so you know that these are, rooms for rent, and a cute little plant for the hospitality. So you know that we're all hospitable and stuff. Oh, just like that. Okay. Oof. Or get some stuff in the garden, like a bush and a flower and another flower. We'll get another bush on this side, a cute little yellow one, and we'll get a flower and another floor. And this goes into the residential zone where the laundromat is, where all the residents constantly are awake, forever insomniacs, just trying to survive the rinse cycle, shaking their apartments. Can't go wrong with orange trees and just one coconut tree. Think I am going to extend this old because we need room for like clothes and stuff, like Nook incorporated Aloha shirts, and we'll get some for the ladies too, and a plant, so you know that we're hospitable. Oof. Excuse me. Gotta be hospitable. Yellow bit of dirt and a yellow fence because I might have more design know than I let on. It looks nice. It looks great. Looks amazing. Same on this site. Gotta get the dirt in the yellow fence because I have design know all. Can't tell me otherwise. And we'll get some nice floors like cosmos. Oh, you know what? There's gonna be an orange one, and then I'll get a white tulip there. I'll get a yellow cosmo, and I'm stuck, aren't I? Okay. And scoop, and an ollie with a fence. Stand over here, go this way, and on a biscuits, and go bop, and go boop, and then take it away. Gonna get an electric box. This is not a candy machine, it's an electric box, okay? I'll make the rules, it's just facts. We got electricity. And then over on this site, we'll get a public bench because it's important of seating in a city because people get tired. Oof. And go boop, and go bop, and go boop. And then we'll get a scooter. Someone's buying stuff. Oof. Fashionable Nook and corporate clothing. They perked outside. And a manhole cover because we got plumbing. And speaking of plumbing, we also have sewage because we care. Well, the main town definitely has sewage. I'm not really sure about anywhere else, but it doesn't really matter. As long as it looks like we're doing good, we're probably doing good. And go boop. Because we ought to make an hasty decision. Besides, this is what raffling off a Miata gets you. It gets you stuff. Some stuff. I am thinking that there is always a waterfall here. So, don't need a permit for a waterfall that always existed. Woo! I'll make the rules. Oh. Oh. Uh-oh. Well, maybe I do need a permit for that. Okay. With the money from the raffle for the brand new Miata that's totally real and definitely exists, that's totally on its way, we have raised enough money to continue and finish development on the shops over here. The clothing shop is now totally operational, so you can get all of your fashionable tropical island needs, and the hotel is, it's under construction. There's nothing in there. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you in the next one where no one will be disappointed to find out that the Miata was totally lost in the mail and totally existed, and it's not Warrior's fault that the mailman couldn't properly track and deliver his very real expensive sports car. Cheers! What does a Miata even look like? Am I doing this right? I have no idea. Nope. Not still a mini cur. We're in trouble, bud.